It's 12:19. Sorry, 12:20 a.m. and I'm really tired. But welcome to my channel. My name is Victoria. If you're new here, what's up? If you're not, what's up? I do several things on my channel. Sometimes I like to read a Reddit story. Sometimes I talk about my weight loss. Sometimes I talk about Reddit while I do my makeup. Sometimes I do a reaction. Most of the time I just do whatever the hell I want. And that's exactly what I'm doing, whatever the hell I want. And today I want to read a Reddit story. I'm going to read an Am I the A-hole story because it's been like a week or so since I've done that. So I'm going to have a good time with that real quick. Since you've been watching the video for like, I don't know, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, something like that, you should be subscribing to my channel right about now because I'm a cool person and yeah, because I'm cool, I think. If you like this video already, I don't know, if you're new here, subscribe to my channel, pretty please, thank you. I have a monthly goal of 150. I might get it, I might not. It's cool either way. I'm just happy you're here. All right, I'm back. My phone died very briefly, so I have to film this kind of quick because it's only like 13% and I film on my phone because I haven't got that YouTube money to buy a $500 camera yet. I don't know if I said this already, but subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends. Today we're reading a Reddit story. What story are we reading? Well, it's an Am I the A-hole because I haven't done one in a while. And we'll be doing a quickie, one that I'm kind of sort of familiar with. It is, am I the a-hole for not paying for my girlfriend to come on a family vacation even though I can easily afford to? Something about this screams trifling ass man, but we'll get there in a second. Here's the story, pretty much. I was going to read it word for word. I changed my mind. The story here is that this man and his girlfriend have been together for like 3 years. She has to work a full-time job plus a part-time job to take care of their new condo they just bought because apartment shit, I guess. And he allegedly, I guess, doesn't have a job because homeboy, like, how the fuck? Why is she working so many jobs? But anyway, he's from Japan. His family goes to Japan every year. His brother was like, hey, is she coming to Japan? And he was like, no, she's not. And he was like, well, why? And he goes, well, she can't afford it. And explains why she can't afford it. And he goes, okay, well, you can afford it. So why don't you just do it? On top of him saying, like, you can afford it, he knows why he can afford it. He knows he can afford it because he lived with his parents rent-free till he was 26. He saved all of his money that way. And then he makes a lot of investments through his brother. So he knows, like, you have money. So he says, it's not my job to provide a vacation for her. She's an adult woman. So the brother's like, bro, what? And so he's like, that's disgraceful as fuck. And I think you know that. His exact words were, he was shocked and thought it was a disgrace that she worked 2 jobs, a place for us to live, yet I could not provide a vacation for her in return. He even offered to pay for her to come, although I think he just said this to piss me off. Am I the a-hole? Short answer, yeah, you are. Pretty much end of story there. But if we want to dig a little deeper, we can do that real quick. Number one, you're a grown-ass man and you don't want to take your girlfriend on a vacation. Girlfriends on vacations, not a requirement, right? Problem here is that it seems as though she's solely paying for everything in the apartment. So you expect her to do everything in the apartment and pay to get the shit fixed, and apparently, I guess, pay the rent too, since she's working a job and a half. But you're saving a bunch of money, and your family's going on a vacation, and you want to go on by yourself without her because she can't afford it because she's taking care of you and your shit? Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me, wouldn't be me. Another reason you're the a-hole is that your argument of like, oh, she's a grown woman, she can take care of herself. Well, it seems as though she's busy taking care of herself and you and the apartment. What the do you do? I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, you don't have a job because you didn't say whether or not you had a job. But it seems as though there's a lot of deadbeat behavior over here for a bitch with money, a nigga with money. The fact that your brother was like, hey, I'll pay for it. And you're like, oh, he just said that to piss me off. He probably did, because nobody wants their authority challenged, or whatever you want to call it. Nobody wants their perspective in the relationship challenged, whether you're a man or a woman. If I was in that position and I was like, oh, you know, we're paying XYZ, my boyfriend can't afford to go for whatever reason, let's say he's paying for a bunch of shit, would I take him? Probably so. Would I expect him to take me if the roles were flipped? Probably so. Not the expectation of, oh, you have to take me because we're dating, or you have to do XYZ because we're dating, because you don't. You don't. That's not how that works. But out of love and respect, because we've been together for 3 years, And if I want to go and I'm like, oh, I can't afford it because I'm paying for all the shit in the apartment, but oh, I can't afford it, then in the very least talk about like, oh, okay, well, I'll pay for half. Or oh, okay, we can talk about like how can we budget your money out? You don't even have to pay anything. How can we budget your money out? How can I help with this apartment? Let's start there. It couldn't be me. Quite literally, there's options of how to help people, and it seems as though you just bypass all of them. Like, nah, she can't go. Just say you didn't want her to go then, if that's the case, because you just bypass the whole, oh, I can help her do it, or I can take her, or whatever. You bypass all of that. She can't afford it. She's a grown-ass woman. She can't afford it. That's up. You don't have to help her. You don't have to do anything for her, but you also don't have to be her boyfriend. She doesn't have to pay for your apartment. She doesn't have to do anything for you, but she does. I mean, yeah, partly it's like, oh, it's her apartment too. But if it's her apartment, and she paying for everything in that bitch, including the washer, the dryer, the bills, everything, this, that, and the third, which this is just all speculation because it's not stated clearly. But you state clearly that she bought a new condo that we moved into. So it's her house that you're in. What? This is how I'm going to end my rant. You're not required to pay for anything for anybody. You don't have to look out for people. I understand how I sound, but stick with me. You don't have to look out for people. You don't have to make sure the bills are paid. You don't have to, make sure whatever the fuck. You don't have to do anything for anybody. But if you're with somebody for 3 fucking years, you live with them, you sleep with them, and you decide, I'm going on this trip that, probably costs, I want it for condo, probably costs about whatever the amount to keep the condo is a month, probably. Maybe a little bit more than that to go on this trip. I can afford to go on the trip. I could probably also afford to take somebody with me and not even really have a problem, but I'm going to actively choose not to because the person that I live with, person I sleep with, person I claim to fucking love, they can't afford it. So I'm going to go without them. And let's say you're like, oh, I don't want to pay for you. All right, let's work something out. You live here. Pay something. Then I might be able to save some money to go. Or even if you are paying something, can you mind picking something else up maybe? Or can we go through you're clearly good with money. Can we go through my finances to see what I can do to cut it? I'm not going to say, oh, don't go on the trip or whatever. That's also dumb. It's a little trickier than I thought because it's like, oh, should he not go? Well, I mean, I'm not going to say he shouldn't go, but I mean, it's a little up. You're like, oh, no, I shouldn't pay for it. I mean, you don't have to, but like there's a conversation that needs to be had here. I read the comments and yeah, somebody said like this is a good debate because like he shouldn't have to pay for anything if he doesn't want to. He doesn't have to. Like I said, you don't have to do shit, but she don't have to keep you in her house. If the house is her name and you seem to be talking about, oh, it's a her problem. That's what a lot of the comments are saying. Like, oh, it's a her problem. It's a her problem. It's a her problem. He's making it seem like, that she got to deal with that shit. Since it's a her problem and it's her condo, you can get the fuck out of her house. It's not even like just this situation solely, it's the entire thing. The problem here, as somebody said, is not between you and her. The problem's really between you and your brother because that's why you felt guilty. You didn't feel bad and say, am I the a-hole for not bringing her because of a conversation you had with her. You felt bad because somebody else called you out on your shit. So that's why you're asking if you're the a-hole. And let me tell you, unanimously, I didn't have to scroll that motherfucker. Yes, you are the a-hole, and you deserve that title because there's something special about somebody, male, female, non-binary, whatever. Something special about a motherfucker that has. You keep yours, you have yours, but you be damned if somebody asks you for a dime. You'll use up, you'll eat up, you'll do whatever the fuck you want. But you'd be damned in a half if somebody asks you for some motherfucking help. You in a condo that's in her name. You live in her house. She's paying the food. She's paying for the shit that's in her house. The maintenance and everything. She's paying for the shit that's in her house. And you living up in that bitch rent free. And have money, have good investments, have everything you motherfucking need. But you don't want to take her on a little trip to Japan. Why? Not even because you can't afford it. It's because she can't afford it. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You don't have to do shit for her, but she don't have to do shit for you either. Now, this whole conversation to me is just making me mad because I had a lot of conversations about certain things earlier today that pissed me off. But my issue here is just like, how can you love somebody so deeply? And this is just me having a moment. How can you love somebody so deeply that you stick with them for 3 years? Which, this is me saying loving deeply because it just don't sound like love to me, but okay. You stick with them for 3 years. You watch them struggle for 3 years. You watch her get her shit together. You watch her pay those bills. You watch her buy the food. You watch her cook the food. You watch her do every motherfucking thing. And then when she has this opportunity to maybe go to your country, your home country, to maybe be a part of your culture, the things that are special and unique to you, the things that help to mold you as a person, like your home country, like the same as anybody else, you say, sucks. I can afford it, you can't. Not, I can help you with your finances, or I'll spot you for half, or we can talk about what to do. Now, there's no statement of whether or not she wants to go anyways, but I'm just saying, like, let's say she did want to go. She can't afford it. You don't want to talk to her about it. Like, oh, okay, we might be able to get you a cheaper flight. We might be able to do this for you. We might be able to do that for you. None of that. You just said, no, you can't afford it. You can't go. Bleep, the bleep, bleep, bleep you. For real. Because you suck, dude. Like, you just suck. You can't even, like, you suck. For real. I really was not expecting to do a 15-minute rant to tell somebody that you a little bitch. But you a little bitch and you suck. It is now 12:49 in the morning. I need to get up in the morning because I have to babysit. So, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have a great time editing the bleeps out of this. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? How do you feel? What would you do? Who are you fighting? Who are you not fighting? I make videos on Tuesdays and Fridays, and I have social media. It's all in my description box. Make sure you subscribe. I'm so grateful for all of my subscribers, all 140 something other of them. Yeah. All right. I will see you on Tuesday, Friday, whatever day. I'll see you. Bye. That shit really pissed me off. I am so mad. You can't afford to go. No, motherfucker. We're for 3 years? We can't afford to go. If that's like, what? We together for 3 years? We like this. We together. He and I together for 3 years. You can't afford it. Don't even worry about it. You pay all the bills. She pays everything. Shit. Couldn't a bit. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Wouldn't be me. Couldn't be me.